Trains are supposed to be simple. Two rails, wheels, and a direction. But then engineers built these. Meat grinder train. This is not a normal snowplow. This is a train with a giant spinning blade on its face. The real machine is called a rotary snowplow, but from the front, meat grinder train is honestly the more accurate description. It is designed for places where snow gets so deep that regular plows cannot simply push it aside. Instead of shoving snow out of the way, this machine attacks it directly. The huge front wheel spins at high speed, cuts into the snow, breaks it apart, and throws it far away from the track. From the front, it looks less like a railway vehicle and more like a machine built to eat winter. These trains are used in extreme mountain regions where snow can completely bury rail lines. Without machines like this, entire routes could stay blocked for days. The design looks brutal, but the job is simple. Clear the track before the snow wins. It might not be fast, it might not be pretty, but when the railway disappears under a wall of snow, this is the machine you want coming toward it. Fan train. This fan train looks like someone attached an airplane propeller to a rail car and hoped for the best. And that is basically what happened with the Schienenzeppelin, a German experimental rail car built in the early 1930s. Instead of using a normal locomotive system, it had a giant aircraft propeller mounted at the back. The idea was simple. If propellers could push airplanes through the sky, maybe one could push a train down the track at ridiculous speed. And weirdly, it worked. This machine became one of the fastest rail vehicles of its time. But there was one very obvious problem. A giant spinning propeller on a train is not exactly safe around passengers or basically anything standing behind it. It was loud, dangerous, and completely impractical for normal railway service. So even though it looked like the future, it was really a train trying way too hard to become an airplane. Rail bus. At first glance, this looks like a bus that got lost and accidentally drove onto railway tracks. This is a road rail bus, also called a dual-mode vehicle, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It can drive on normal roads like a bus, then switch onto railway tracks using special rail wheels. The idea is surprisingly practical. In areas where building full train service is too expensive, one vehicle can connect roads and rails without needing two separate systems. On the road, it behaves like a bus. On the railway, it follows the track like a train. But the engineering is tricky. The vehicle has to handle two completely different worlds: rubber tires on roads and steel wheels on rails. That means extra mechanisms, extra weight, and more things that can go wrong. Still, it is one of the weirdest transport hybrids ever built. It is not fully a bus. It is not fully a train. It is basically public transport having an identity crisis. Jet train. This thing looks less like a train and more like a supercar built for railway tracks. The real name was the Grumman TLRV, which stood for Tracked Levitated Research Vehicle. But just by looking at it, jet train feels like the name it actually wanted. It was part of a push to explore faster, smoother, futuristic ground transportation. Instead of looking like a normal locomotive, it looked like a sleek speed capsule from a world where trains and jet aircraft started sharing design notes. The idea was to test advanced guideway technology, levitation concepts, and high-speed movement in a controlled system. But that is where future trains often run into trouble. It is not enough to build a cool vehicle. You also need the special track, the control systems, the maintenance plan, and enough money to make all of it real. So even though the TLRV looked like a jet train from the future around it was too expensive to build. It became another reminder that a train can look incredibly fast while still being stuck in the prototype stage. Hamster wheel train. This train looks like a row of giant hamster wheels climbing a mountain. This is the Stousbahn funicular in Switzerland, one of the steepest funicular railways in the world. Its track climbs at such an extreme angle that a normal cabin would feel completely wrong. So engineers gave it rotating passenger cabins. As the train moves up or down the mountain, the cabins automatically adjust themselves to stay level. That means the outside of the train is tilted like crazy, but the people inside can stand normally. The result looks bizarre. From the outside, it seems like a set of barrels sliding up a mountain. But the design is not just for show. It solves a real problem.